In June 1933, he took over the recently opened Dachau camp, ruling with such systematic harshness that Heinrich Himmler in 1934 appointed him SS Inspector of concentration camps. The same year, Eicher had proved his loyalty to Himmler and the party by personally shooting Ernst Röhm after the captive SA leader had refused to commit suicide. When in 1936 the SS camp guards were formed into the Totenkopfverband, the Death's Head formation, Eicher became its first commander. In 1939 he led the Waffen-SS Death's Head division in the invasion of Poland. Eicher rapidly proved himself an effective combat commander. Eicher's division fought in the testing battle of Demyansk on the Eastern Front in January and February 1942. In the Soviet counteroffensive, the German Second Corps, including Eicher's Death's Head SS, had been encircled. In the first major airlift in history, the Second Corps was supplied and reinforced by the Luftwaffe until relieved by a German counterattack in May. The following February, Eicher's reconnaissance aircraft was shot down over Soviet-held territory. Such was the devotion of his men that a squad of volunteers broke through enemy lines to recover his body. Following the German invasions of Poland in 1939 and the Soviet Union in 1941, Einsatzgruppen operations groups followed in the wake of the regular army formations. Over 12,000 strong, the Einsatzgruppen were recruited from the ranks of the SD Security Service, the Gestapo, the Order Police, and the Waffen-SS. Formed on the orders of Adolf Hitler, the task of the Einsatzgruppen was to kill all those deemed to have leadership potential. Aristocrats, political commissars, teachers, doctors, and other professionals were targeted, along with Jews and others deemed racial enemies. In August 1942, Heinrich Himmler, Reichsführer of the SS, ordered an Einsatz unit to execute in his presence 100 prisoners at Minsk. He became hysterical at the initial failure of shooting to kill 2 Jewish women. The result was the use of gas bombs instead of shooting in the Nazi murder program. Between 1939 and 1944, the Einsatzgruppen killed an estimated 2 million people. In 1939, Dwight D. Eisenhower, in spite of his lack of combat experience, was already a successful U.S. Army staff officer. In 1941, he was promoted to Brigadier General and immediately following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor was posted to Washington to head the United States War Division. Eisenhower was convinced of the need for the earliest possible cross-channel invasion as the most direct route to the defeat of Germany. In 1942, he was dispatched to London, where his success with Churchill and senior British officials resulted in his appointment as commander of U.S. forces in the European theater. Eisenhower's powers of diplomacy made him an obvious choice as commander of the Anglo-American torch invasion of North Africa, a plan devised by Churchill and accepted by Roosevelt at the Arcadia Conference. For the torch landings,